Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a special video for you. I'm doing episode 2 of my distance tips. So if you guys missed my first episode, please go ahead and click back on that. It's episode 1. I'm focusing on the upper body, and my 3 tips I've been focusing on were creating space between the arm and the core. The second tip that I showed was linking the throwing arm to the back foot. And the last tip I shared during that video was getting your off arm active. So as I mentioned, this is episode 2, so I'm moving away from the upper body and I'm now focusing on the lower body. So this first tip that I have is not only focusing on what you can do to unlock additional power, but it's also focusing on consistency. I like to highlight football kickers. Each kicker has a unique pace that they take away when they're either doing kickoff, or field goals, or even punting. By identifying these paces, you can even use that to your advantage when you are having to make another, let's say, full power shot from the fairway. So for me specifically, I'm focusing on the full power shot. I take 5 paces back and 1.5 paces to the right for my backhand. So second tip I have for you guys is the backhand throw requires a closed stance. There are 2 things that I mean when I say a closed stance. Firstly, if you're talking about the railroad tracks metaphor that a lot of pros have used, your plant foot, your front foot, should always be in front of the plane of your back foot. What this looks like is in your final plant step for your throw, your right foot, for the right-handed backhand throwers, should be crossing in front of your left foot, your back foot. Typically, the line that is drawn through your back foot's toe and your plant foot's heel is the line at which you're throwing. Now, I will amend that statement to say that typically in your power throwers, you will see that the drives are actually offset to the right of which this line is drawn. And one other thing I mean by closed stance as well is with regards to the plant foot. Your plant foot should never be opened towards your target. What happens here is you end up developing a weak brace and you're not able to properly absorb the momentum of your body moving forward and translate that into power to the disc. And I found that when I open up my plant foot, I typically pull my drives over to the right. And my last leg tip I have for you guys is finding the right plant stride and tempo. So I'm actually gonna roll back a video from the previous tips video. Historically, what I've seen in my shot, if my final step is too short, I do what I would like to call a plant hop, where my front foot actually pulls backwards from its plant location. I'm attempting to use my plant foot to actually drive my hips into rotation, but because my plant step is too short, the line of action in which that plant foot is pushing is too vertical and ends up generating this vertical hop. So my adjustment for this was to make sure that I had full extension of my final plant step. This allowed me to actually use my plant step to drive horizontally into my hips, get my hips activated. I also want to disclaim, I'm not saying that having an incredibly long final stride will give you distance. What I'm saying is that your final stride needs to match your power level and also your mechanics of your body. And I don't recall any other professionals having a tip worded like that specifically for the final stride. So if you guys have come across something, please comment below the source. I would love to watch that video, check it out.
Without further ado, let's head to the field.
Future Payton here. If I didn't say already, I'm at Detweiler Park. I actually chose a different football field to be practicing in today. I'm actually in the north field. The south field that you have seen me do videos on before is actually a little bit of a downhill throw. So anything that I throw out here today, guys, with the wind as still as it is here too, is a true throw.
To start off every fieldwork session, I warm up the shot that I'm practicing with slower discs. Here I am throwing ricks and buzzes. This is also where I slow down my throw and narrow my focus on adjustments, such as my spacing, closing my stance, and extending my plant step. On a side note, it's normal to see a slight regression of other components when focusing on something new to change. You can see that I'm not quite getting my off arm activated as I was before. Some people struggle with certain aspects of the backhand throw, and this is mine. But regardless, I've noticed these leg changes have been getting the same or better distance on flat ground as I did with the slight downhill. For this session, my good throws are anywhere from 330 to 360, throwing 9 and 11 speeds. I think that I'm making good releases and hitting my line, which is the left gap in the trees in the background. But I'm disappointed at the results, and I end up tweaking my elbow after this round. So I come back another day with some ideas after watching the footage. Today, my elbow is rested and I'm implementing a small change that isn't in my arms or legs. The disc is coming out a lot better and I'm pushing about 400 on a few of these good throws. I won't tell you this tip today, but I'll let you know what it is in another tips video.
All right, guys, I want to thank you for coming and checking out my video today. Thank you so very much for stopping by. If you guys could hit that like button, comment below what tip that you found really helpful today, or provide a tip of your own for the lower body. And then please subscribe. I'm actually looking to do a giveaway for you guys, and I'm thinking about adding a 250 subscriber giveaway. So if I'm not at that point yet, help me get there. I'll have more details on that soon. So with that, thanks again, guys, and I hope to see you on a fairway soon.